Whether on the sea or on the land, the Mighty Mill will get your grain situation well in hand. Today we're talking about the Mighty Mill, a perfect grain mill for beginning and experienced brewers alike. So today I wanted to highlight one of our grain mills that has been absolutely crushing it ever since we brought it in. This is the Mighty Mill. We've been selling it for about a year and it's garnered a ton of positive feedback from our customers and it's great. This is the mill I use at home. So we're doing a little show and tell today. This is my setup. And it's been working really well. It grinds really smoothly. It's really easy to put together when you first get it. And it's a complete grain mill. It comes with all the parts that you see here. A lot of grain mills, when you're shopping around, you'll notice that, they come with everything but the hopper. They come with everything but the crank handle, everything but the baseboard. This thing comes complete as you see it. So you got the hopper, the mill body, the baseboard, and the crank handle. This is the 2-roller model. It comes in 2 and 3-roller models. So one of my favorite parts about this mill is the metal baseboard. Other units that use a wooden baseboard, we've heard of issues with splitting or cracking over time. So the metal baseboard is really nice because it's virtually indestructible. This baseboard sits really well on top of a bucket, 6.5 gallon bucket, fits perfectly. It has these nice little notches in the baseboard itself. So that really helps when you're turning the crank handle, keeps it in place. You can see it doesn't want to move too much front to back. And there is a little bit of a gap here, side to side. So you'll probably use one hand to steady it, one hand to crank. Or you can take like a 2x4 or something else, chop it, create a wedge and just stick it right there and it'll keep it nice and steady. Another feature that I love about this guy is that setting the gap is super easy. You basically just loosen these little lock nuts on the back and then you have a dial on either side. And this dial has pre-etched gap settings there. So you just tune it to whichever one you desire, match it on the other side, lock it back in before you start milling, and that's it. It's super easy to set, super easy to adjust, and it's pretty consistent. I haven't really had much trouble adjusting it. I started it on the 0.045 setting that it came with, and I've very rarely had to adjust it from there. But it comes down to what kind of grain you use. So if you use smaller kernels, fatter kernels, you'll probably see yourself adjusting a little bit, but it's quick and easy with the Mighty Mill, so that's really nice. So as I mentioned, it comes with the crank handle included. This guy rotates very smoothly. It's got a nice rotating handle here, so you just grip it and rip it, off you go. If you don't want to use the crank handle, you can easily remove it. Just back this little nut off. And you'll see here, it's ready to accept a 1/4-inch drill bit. So if you have an electric drill on hand, that's probably the way to go. Connects really easily, and we're milling. So as I mentioned, the Mighty Mill comes in either 2-roller or 3-roller model. I pulled this guy out and left the hopper off so that you could actually see what's cool about the 3-roller Mighty Mill. You'll see this little window where there's the 2 gears, and as I spin the drive, you'll see that both the rollers roll. So what's cool about that is other 3-roller grain mills, you might see they have 1 driven and 2 passive rollers, while this one actually has 2 driven rollers. So this can really help with the grain feeding into the mill, as both of them will actually grab the grains and feed them into the gap. When it comes down to choosing whether you want a 2-roller or 3-roller mill, a lot of it comes down to personal preference and your budget. So if you're brewing on a budget, just go with the 2-roller mill, you'll get great results. But if money isn't as much of an issue and you just want the best piece of equipment possible, go with the 3-roller mill. 3-roller mill tends to be a little bit more effective at cracking the husk of the grain without damaging it. And you usually get better results through one pass, where some people, depending on the grain you're using, you might actually pass through your 2-roller mill twice. Supposedly, people don't need to do that with the 3-roller mill. You get a little bit better efficiency, less filtering problems. But again, as far as how much of an improvement it is versus the cost, that is totally your decision to make. So as I said, this is the guy that I use at home and I'm very happy with it. So whichever one you choose, guys, these are great value mills. They are the most competitively priced mills that we sell. I think these are great units and at an affordable price. So you're getting the best of both worlds. Thanks for tuning in, guys, to this first edition of Not So New Products Monthly. If you enjoyed the video, please drop us a like, crush that subscribe button, and if you're feeling frisky, turn on alerts so that you can stay up to date with what's brewing at MoreBeer. You got my wink, right?
Okay.
Wink. Make sure you use the ding. I was literally gonna be like, wink sound. Joe, you got that? Cue up the wink effect.